thank you very much, Mr. Higgins. Also, thank you from Martina for the invitation. I'm very happy to present very briefly our ongoing and also close projects dealing with remote sensing in schools and our experiences, how to reach the very young, and also more important, in my opinion, how to reach teachers as multiplicators, right? So why should we do Earth observation in schools? It is interdisciplinary subject. So the very nature of EO is interdisciplinary and opens possibilities for lessons in every STEM subject. In line with digitalization efforts, I don't know how familiar you are with the situation in Germany. We are still struggling with digitalization in schools. It's getting better every year. And also COVID-19 pandemic was a huge blast in terms of digitalization efforts in schools in Germany, but still the computer is propagated as a central tool for problem solving, and we have to move on this paradigm. EO Earth observation is per se linked to digital image processing, and so it is really easy to dive right in those efforts. Teaching methods, so working with EO is very well suited for problem-based learning, and thereby teaching pupils to gather knowledge in a more constructivist, science-like manner. Yeah, so teachers should step back a little and let the pupils solve the problems on their own with the according methods. So, and also it's really cool to increase awareness for our everyday problems, and of course also for the big problems, which also the young generation currently focuses on. So we have this group here in Germany called Fridays for Future. You all know aware of this, and this group here in Germany gets in the public view a little too extreme for some boomer generation people, no offense. Their measures like gluing themselves to the streets, they are a little extreme for some people. So it is in our opinion, our challenge to inform those young people how to utilize also Earth observation methods to investigate climate change impacts and environmental impacts, and how they again can inform the public. So also kind of multiplicator, if you want. So obstacles is the teacher education. Very often the EO is not part of university education. When it comes to school teachers, tools and data are freely available since a couple of years. This is really cool tsunami, which we were observing with the Copernicus services, for example. You all know that. But still, learning to handle the software and data is still time consuming. So when it is apart from the EO browser and the combination with didactic information and curricula, it's still hard for beginners. We have to stick to the curriculum, because if we don't stick to the curriculum, no teacher will integrate it in their everyday school lessons in a sustainable fashion. Limited time for sure. Teachers have only a very short part of the teaching time for topics which they are interested in. So they have to stick to the curriculum again. And of course, the technological qualification and infrastructure is getting better, but still it lacks of technical support, for example, when it comes to fast internet. And of course, computer use. Pupils are not used to work with computers anymore. And also you see that when it comes to students here, we have to teach them again how to work with computers. They can work with iPads and smartphones, but computers still a problem. Okay, so slide. Our problem here in Germany is specifically we have 16 federal states, 4 types of secondary schools, 7 relevant STEM subjects, which makes it 450 around core curricula, and this is just for 1 grade. So we have a solid strategy to overcome this problem, and this is the competency-based orientation, focusing on 21st century skills, also skill set like communication, argue mathematically for maths, but also reason evaluation, expertise, acquisition of knowledge, apply methods, spatial orientation, stuff like that. We have to focus on modeling so that we can tackle with those competencies the borders between the curricula in Germany, but also between the subjects. And one way to do this is to use operators when it comes to working with questions or tasks. Yeah, we have different requirement areas. It's not recommendable to use W questions like where, when, what, who, or something. You should work like this when it comes to structuring a worksheet, for example, for pupils in Germany. So now we address those obstacles for more than a decade already with everyday school lessons using EO data. So really to teach topics of the curricula in those subjects, those STEM subjects from geography to computer science, but also on special events. And here, when it comes to the impact of those obstacles, it's very high in everyday school lessons and less in low in special when it comes to special events. But yeah, the potential people to reach is very high in everyday school lessons and low on special events, because then you have this one-time experience. But our goal is, of course, to keep them informed. Yeah? In everyday school lessons, and also for more than one generation. So how do we address those obstacles? We have to stick to the curriculum. We have to connect topics of the curriculum to Earth observation, for example, by using topics like the Rienow desert. So desertification is a typical topic in the German curricula for geography lessons. Here you see how we utilize also the device of the children. And here you see a flood risk assessment tool we developed so that they can get in touch with a digital elevation model and the subject of floods. And here we have linear functions, a typical topic in math grade 7, and how to use an aerial image to overcome this. Yes, then we have to reduce preparation and application time. So conduct teacher trainings, for example, but also restrain from using software that has to be installed. Yeah, every hurdle you have by getting administration rights for your computer or not enough licenses or something like that, you have to overcome that. So this is why we use a lot of online tools, but also making use of BYOD. So bring your own device, making use of the device of the pupils. For example, we have this online teaching modules here. This is Summer in the City, a German version currently. We also have it in English. And we also have an augmented reality app on the older version too, on a hurricane and a cyclone. So yeah, we make use of different devices. This is very important. So also very important is to reduce the learning curve for tools. Yeah. So they must be very intuitive and as easy as possible. Kind of the Apple way, how to develop those software or teaching modules. So only use the tools for the data you need to solve the task. Don't come with a whole bunch of Earth observation and only those chunks of information which are needed. For example, if we open this Pandora's box of what is Earth observation, what is electromagnetic spectra, what are different resolution stuff, you can have it in the background when a question arises so that they can pull this information as soon as possible and as easy as possible. But when it comes to instruction and stuff, be as simple and as reduced as possible. So make easy of user priority. Yeah? For example, here we have this cities of the world, and we just make use of an edge detection filter in order to see different structures, and for example, socialist structures in Brest, in Russia, but also here we see again the Rienow desert, just simple push button, play button, where you see the differences and the decrease of the water level of the Aral Sea, yeah, and the transformation to a real desert. Okay. Finally, use proven and innovative e-learning methods to convey background knowledge. So video and animation are fine, interactions are important, so that the pupils not only have this push the button, but also getting informed and interact, work with the data on the own, kind of propedeutic learning, so that you try to address to create interactive learning and teaching units, for example, so that they can do their own flood analysis, do their own classification, use land cover classification, do temperature measurements from space, stuff like that. You all know what I'm talking about. Here, for example, we have developed a massive open online MOOC on global change, and we have different chunks of videos in 3 to 5 minutes, where we inform about spectral resolution, spatial resolution, but also electromagnetic spectrum, what is land use, land cover change, of course, and we also see those learning and teaching modules where we explain how to what different satellites are, for example, Terasa X, and all in an interactive manner, yeah, so that they can click and play around a bit and explore on their own. I will have the video start again because there were much more information. Yeah, we have here the MOOC, and you already see how to teach the different spectra and segments of the electromagnetic spectrum, but also to teach them false color images with Papa Smurf. And also here we have this teaching unit for computer science, and animations illustrate how you gather, for example, a digital elevation model. And this unit where you have this information on satellites on one hand, but also the application areas on the other hand. And everything I show here, which is currently in Germany, is also available in English on our website, fis.rub.de. When it comes to augmented reality, this is very exciting because it's so easy to install. We have an app called Columbus Eye. You can download it in the Apple Store, but also in the Google Play Store. And there is no long installation needed. It's very intuitive. We have different applications within this app for different subjects. For example, we have, you see here, the hyperspectral image cube. We do that for rather more experienced students. And we have this topic for biology lessons, algal bloom, so that they can detect those bacteria which are kind of poisonous in the water in different spectral bands. And this worksheet comes with information which bands should be addressed, and then they can move through this image cube and visualize the according band combination. And they can also move from north to south, from west to east, and through all the spectral bands. And it's very intuitive, and it runs also on older devices, which is very important. Not every student has the newest device already, so it's important to have those devices. We test all of our apps on older operating system and older devices. So this is a complex topic, hyperspectral remote sensing, but as soon as you have the curriculum in mind, you can also teach that. And on the lower right, you see a video where we have this. So every time we have this worksheet with a marker, and as soon as you have your smartphone overlaid over this marker, you can, you will have this virtual content overlay. This is, you all know how augmented reality works. So this augmenting experience, bringing the real world in the classroom and this digital satellite image world together brings also a new perspective. They reach the perspective of the satellite, of a bird, if you want so, this bird's eye view. And this leads to a kind of overview effect, if you want so. So this is why we like to use those graphics, those markers, where you have some information like a graph or a table or something, and then you overlay with those fancy, colorful images. So in the lower right, you see the same for our earthquake teaching unit. Where we utilized Sentinel-1 data and also worked with interferometric data. We don't dive right into the physical, not too deep into the physical background, but enough to teach it in physical lessons and in geography lessons at once. So, and here you already see also a very important need to address teachers and take their fear for such technology. And our experience is when it comes to those teaching workshops where we show our materials and let the teacher do, they are so excited because this is an opportunity where they can use innovative teaching, digital teaching methods, free of charge and curricular oriented and on the device of the pupils. So yeah. And currently in Germany, there's a trend that all of the classrooms are they receive iPads. So as technological equipment, a lot of schools in Germany they focuses on iPads. So this was very important for us to also get into the Apple Store. Otherwise, we would have lost a lot of teachers. And as you know, while students rely on mostly Android phones, teachers like to have iPhones. This is our experience from those workshops. So conclusions, using EO data in schools is possible and beneficial. In regard to the situation in schools, there are impeding factors for the use of EO in schools, which call for strategies to counter them. While using EO in event-like situations is the most feasible way and most easy way, only this everyday usage will bring large numbers of pupils into contact with EO in a sustainable manner. Yeah? Also, when projects are finished, when we are all gone, those teaching models can continue. Yeah. In the long run, videos along with additional interactive material should define a pool of learning resources which can be used in different learning arrangements, for example, MOOCs, learning modules, courses, wikis and stuff. What we have found out that if you have this video and you have a well-structured and also illustrated worksheet, the benefit is not much more. So it's not very different from the video kind of information. So the learning advancement is not that much better than if you have a well-structured and well-illustrated. Yeah? So we use a lot of illustration from the videos and put it in the worksheet for test. Yeah? But it must be well illustrated. So yeah. Good experiences with mobile learning and AR. Our virtual reality experiences so far are not the best because technology is still too expensive. And if you have seen the last Apple presentation on that, 3,500 euros for one device only, I don't know, maybe in 10 years. Yeah, for sure in 10 years, it will be a different situation again. Yeah. So we will have this opportunity open, but still there's a question how to integrate virtual reality environments and integrate satellite-based remote sensing properly. Yeah, we are currently researching on that too. Online tools offer a great opportunity to increase the use of EO in schools, but how ready are they for the everyday scenario? This is really teacher dependent. Yeah? So address the teachers. And also we don't have this experience to say, yeah, the older teachers, they don't like technology or something. We have also a lot of experienced teachers who are very open to new technology and also use of smartphones. And we have also very young teachers who are not interested in that technology at all and still use just worksheets or something. So that was it. Thank you very much for your attention.